Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we are going to paint a realistic looking cake slice in watercolors. So for that I'm just going to start drawing the outline. This is the frame. I'm going to draw it very casually and not much detail in this. I'm just taking care of the perspective here. First I'm going to start with yellow ochre, and this is going to be a very light wash of yellow ochre and then crimson lake. I'm just mentioning the colors here as well. On the top you can see I have written mention the colors because in the last video of the fried egg many people requested me to put down the colors that I'm using. So step 1 is using the lightest color that you can see in the cake. I have put the link in description for the reference image that I have taken for this one. This is a very light layer. Now this will be followed by a mixture of yellow and the crimson layer, and you will see that I'm using a tissue paper to first put the paint on it and see how dark it is. Here I'm using a dry brush to pick up the color as well, because we want to create a realistic looking strawberry cake slice, and these are the strawberries that are on the top, and then there is the liquid that is flowing on the side. I'm just going over it and just creating these highlights with a dry brush. As you can see, I'm doing this very carefully because this step is very important for it to look very realistic, and this I'm going to do over and over again. And I'm just taking more of yellow while doing this syrup that is dripping over it. Here I'm taking burnt sienna and crimson lake and creating a darker texture of the crimson lake. I'm not adding black here as yet, and I'm just going around the area, and you can see I've left a little bit of area white, and I'm again picking up color with a dry brush, and I'm going to do this with all the three strawberries. Here one tip that I want to give you guys is never paint one section of your painting and leave the other section alone. Like one section of your painting shouldn't be too ahead of the rest of it, because then you cannot focus on the other parts and then it doesn't end up looking that realistic. So I always make it a point that I'm painting all the areas. Now I'm going at the bottom section, which is very brownish in color, so I'm using Gamboge Hue here, and I'm just putting some dots here and there, and I'm also going to pick up some color, and I'm going to mix the yellow and the crimson lake now. As I told you, for the drippings on the side I'm using more yellowish tones, so this is how it is going to end up now after this layer. And as I told you, I'm just going to start painting the bottom section as well along with the strawberries. Here I'm taking crimson lake, and in this I'm going to take more pigment, that is more color on my brush and less water, so it creates a dark tone. Now I'm picking up color with tissue paper because I want it to create an abstract shape. If I pick it up with brush again, it will create the same shape which I don't want. So here in this stage I picked up color with the tissue paper, and you can see it is creating an beautiful abstract shape. Now I'm mixing these two colors that are mentioned on screen, and I'm creating a orangish looking shade here for the drippings, because I'm going to paint them darker and darker with every passing phase, and this is going to be a long process, so please take out some time to make this realistic watercolor paintings. It is not as fast as it is looking to you on the screen. I have taken at least 3 hours I guess to make this painting, and now I'm mixing your crimson lake and burnt sienna and going over the strawberries here again. Now you guys might be also wondering that I have not used Scarlet Red yet, and wait for it, I'm going to use it soon. Here I'm just ensuring that the highlights that are visible are kept as like a little bit of that is visible. Here I am mixing three colors, and I have finally taken a bit of black to darken up things. After this stage you will see that the strawberries kind of start looking realistic in a way, and you will start seeing the entire thing taking shape. So here we have reached halfway through the whole process of the painting, and now I'm painting the bottom section. After doing the strawberries again, I'm painting the bottom with burnt sienna, very watered down version of it. And I know that you guys might be thinking that this is not looking as realistic as it should, but just wait for a few minutes and you will see how I turn this around. Now I'm again mixing these three colors mentioned, and I'm going to just darken up things at the bottom as well, as our strawberries are quite darkened up, and so I want to darken the bottom section as well. Again we are mixing brown and black, and I'm going to paint the shadows at the top of the strawberries, because the two strawberries at the front and the one in the back, so the middle section is a bit darker than the rest of them. So I'm just moving around my brush with the same color, and I have taken a bit of crimson ink on my brush and just moving it around and giving the shadows and darker tones to the drippings as well, so that I start making them looking realistic. At this point it is very important to ensure the entire painting is in one phase itself. Now I'm taking a very watered down black and just going to create the shadows. I did the same thing and I used the same technique in my fried egg painting as well. Link is at the top, you can see. And here I'm just picking up color as soon as I put it down. So this is going to dry up lighter, as you know, but though it's not that evident, it is going to create the effect that we want. Now I've taken a burnt sienna also, and again I'm going with the black at the top. As you saw, I made a little bit of mistake at the top as well, but I instantly picked up the color with the tissue paper. Here I am going over everything with a very light watered down black. Now I have taken crimson lake, burnt sienna and black for the dots on the strawberry, and I am just going around the dots with crimson lake all over again to give it a very 3D and circular and rounder finish. And I'm just going over the lines and giving the entire thing shadows so and darker lines, so that everything pops out, the colors pop out. For me, the biggest challenge in this painting was the cake itself, like the cake sponge itself, because it was the color very light color, lightish yellowish creamish color, and I actually took it as a challenge up to myself to do it. Now I am going to paint the whites and the highlights. As you can see that these highlights are going to make this really come alive, and the moment I put those highlights on the drippings especially, it just started looking very realistic and everything just came together. Now the for everyone who has been waiting for me to start with the Scarlet Lake, I'm going to take that in the next step, and you will see that this whole thing just comes alive once I do that. After this I'm just taking my brush and going around the all the strawberries with Scarlet Lake, and you can see the moment I put down Scarlet Lake, the strawberries come alive. It is like they are there and the drippings are there. The pastry just looks like it is ready to be eaten right now. I loved the process. I loved painting this one. I hope you guys too like this painting as much as the fried egg painting that you guys have loved, and I just got overwhelming response for that one. You can check it out, check that one out too. Now in the end I'm just using a bit of black, watered down black, to create shadows at the bottom. And yeah, this is the final painting, and I hope you guys like this, and I hope you guys try this one out and share your photos with me. I would be very happy. Thank you. Do check out my other videos here, and this is what I think you will like to watch, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.